You know what? I decided a little bit of music from the Endless Legend soundtrack would be really nice while we were going through H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountain of Madness. Endless Legend is by Amplitude Studios, and once upon a time on Twitter, they were like, yo, you can use our music with attribution on YouTube. So here I am, attributing. And Chapter 1, that groan as they roll down. And we start with something very interesting. I've never read the journals of Captain Cook, and there's some interesting, stuff in here. Give you a second to look at it. That I can be bold to say that no man will ever venture farther than I have done, and that the lands which may lie to the south will never be explored. Thick fogs, snowstorms, intense cold, and every other thing that can render navigation dangerous, one has to encounter, and these difficulties are greatly heightened. Look at that spelling. By the inexpressible horrid aspect of the country, a country doomed by nature never once to feel the warmth of the sun's rays, but to lie forever buried under everlasting snow and ice. Whew! What a description of a place. You know what I mean? It does not sound like the kind of place I would really want to go to. But when your job is exploring, you go exploring. So we start off here with kind of a summary. How we get to Antarctica. How this expedition stuff happens. Man, I wish this book wasn't so dang freaking big. This book is ginormous. It really is. It's a hefty tome. It's a hefty son of a gun. Now, one thing that started to bother me as I looked at the faces here is I kind of feel like maybe these are posed 3D models that are drawn over. And then I stopped caring. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, for a moment, these faces kind of took me out of where I was. And then I decided I didn't care. Actually, it was this one right here. There's something about this pose that just kind of struck me as... I don't know. And maybe it's just the shading, where there's like the lighter tone, the mid-tone, and then the flat black there or something. Like, there's something about that shot that kind of just pulled me out of this. And then I kept reading, and I kept looking, and I stopped caring. So, they're putting together their expedition here. September 1930. Danforth, I intend to cover as great an area as one Antarctic season will permit. We'll operate mostly in the mountain ranges and the plateaus south of the Ross Sea. Our aim is the pre-Cambrian strata. If Peabody's equipment is all that is expected, at any rate, we'll give our very own hometown press the honor of the first reports. The Arkham Advertiser has our shortwave frequency. Let the Associated Press then tell the world what we discover. No purely terrestrial animal now survives in Antarctica larger than a midge. Mosses and lichens form the scarce patches of plant cover. Yet Antarctica was once temperate, even tropical in a prior aeon. It teemed with life. To prove the validity of the theory, perhaps expand it. And oh look, mysterious life right there. Isn't that amazing? So they're getting their team together, they're getting the crew together, they're getting ready to launch the expedition. And I gotta find exactly the page I want to show you. I don't want to show you too much. Because there's just a lot of this right now. We are definitely in the beginning of the story. We're at the point where we're introducing a lot of the characters. Kind of setting up who they are, what they're going to do. And I'll be honest with you. I will be 100% honest. I am not going to remember their names. It's just not happening. Let's see. Where is exactly the page I want? It's the Stormy page. And here's why I ended up not caring so much about my thoughts about the faces and looking like posed 3D models and stuff. There's only so much you can do. Like, a 3D model only gets you so close to when you got to draw something like this. So even if this artist is doing that, and if he is, I'm not taking anything away from him. Artists have to use shortcuts where they can. There's too much work to do. Like, I'm not going to begrudge somebody being like, oh yeah, I'm going to to like some manga artists do, where they're just like, I'm going to take a photo of a gun and put it in here and just use it. Like, they do that. Whatever you got to do to get the work done. But I saw this and I'm like, yeah. I'm here. So they got their expedition together. They're making the trip. They are going to Antarctica. And that's the end of chapter 1 proper of this story. And the speech is fine. In fact, the speech is pretty interesting because of the language choices. Hold on, let me... Yeah. So underneath this panel here, where they were doing the handshakes. The Southern Ocean's a sea of ice, but its ice will break, so fear not. But as for the land after, that we'll deal with. Like, I'm just kind of eating this stuff up. There's some other stuff here where they're like dropping names and all that over here on this panel. And like I said, there's just a lot of introductory material here, and it is great stuff. It's fun, and this introductory chapter left me hype, which is a good thing. You should be hype after you read something, you know?